If you want a WRX or an STI, you definitely want to watch this video. I'm going to talk about something that's critically important if you have a WRX or STI in your driveway. And in today's video, we're going to talk about why you should sell your Subaru WRX or your STI as soon as possible. And you might think, what are you talking about? Well, I'm going to talk about it in the video, and I promise it's worth the watch. This is going to be a very short video, and I'm going to get straight to the point because I'm going to save you guys time and money. So let's get into it. And actually, before we get started, guys, I apologize. It has been about 2 weeks since I've posted. You guys know that I don't currently have my WRX anymore because I listened to the values that I'm about to talk about in this video. But I've got a new project car coming to the channel very shortly here, so we're going to have lots of content quickly coming to the channel, and a new project with Subarus that I'm excited to announce. So I'm really stoked about that. All right, well, you might think I'm crazy saying that you should sell your WRX or STI, but we have something coming with the market and the used car market and everything with the economy. Something unique is about to happen, and there is time still to take money off the table. Now, if you are like most WRX or STI owners out there, you likely have a loan on your car, or you've just paid it off. Very few of us were fortunate enough to have the car paid off. I did have the car paid off. There are definitely people out there that have it, but statistics show the large majority of you guys have a loan on the car. Even further than that, a large portion, not over 50%, but a big significant portion of you guys have bought a WRX or an STI in the last 3 years, which means you bought it at the height of the market or as the market was rising. More often than not, you'll find we're actually at peak market right now, and two unique things are going to happen. The first unique thing that's going to happen that's harder to project exactly when that timeline is we are going to see the automotive supply chain kind of normalized and inflation come down, parts starting to happen. We're actually already seeing that with a lot of brands. Subaru is very, very close to getting back to that point. They've very much normalized their new car inflow, and as other manufacturers kind of catch up with them, we're going to see the used market pretty much normalize in a very quick fashion. It'll probably happen in 2 to 3 months whenever it does become a little bit more normalized. It's harder to predict when that's going to happen. That's probably going to happen in the next, 3 to 8 months is my guess right now. But we're going to see a reduction in value. My guess is that WRX and STIs will probably go down between 15 and 20% of their current value. The thing that is happening that is coming very quickly and will come at a staggering pace, and it will tank the values of these cars, is actually what's happening with the economy. With inflation, with the way the stock market's going, the fact that we're going into a recession. If you look at every other time that we've had recessions, and this time's gonna be worse, I'll tell you why, you see basically this big change in where people have their money, and the assets that are more expensive get sold first. And unfortunately, the WRX and STI at their current prices are very much cars that are going to be sold, and people are going to move into cheaper cars. If you argue with me, I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. It's happened every single documentable time that we've had a recession. It's happened to the dot, and it happens very quickly. Prices tank. Now, what's unique about what's going to happen now is the housing market. In all other recessions, the housing market has crashed as well. What's unique about today's market is the housing market, because it's so high, people have so much equity in their homes that even if there is a correction with this recession, people are still probably going to be positive, and they will still likely be able to pay their mortgage. So it's actually unlikely that we see the same housing sell-off, which means more than likely everyone that's going to be in financial struggles is going to liquidate their car first. We have this first situation where we might potentially see this happen even worse, and this could happen, it's tough to predict when this is going to happen, but when it does happen, in a month's time, we're going to see the market really correct. My guess is this alone will also have a 15 or 20% change in car prices. And if you want some staggering information, that percentage was actually much, much larger of a change in 2008. So look, what am I telling you to do? Because if the market's going to crash and everything, a lot of people just say, well, I might as well just keep the car because I'll be able to own it. Well, the reality is that if you're like most people and you have a loan, or you're just somebody that appreciates or wants money, what you can do here is you can sell your ride right now at the peak of the market. Wait for this stuff to happen, have another car, do something in the meantime, and then buy back into the same platform in a year's time, and you might be able to take about 20 or 30% of that value off the table. So if you have a 2020 WRX, which is worth $24,000, $23,000 in today's market, right, and you owe $6,000 on it, there is a very real potential that you'll be able to buy that same car in a year from now for 18 grand. That is totally real. That is a very normalized price with no market recession. That's what it should be valued. That's what we've seen those cars been valued. Maybe not 2020, but like in 2017, the 2016 model was worth kind of that. So you can see the trajectory there. But I guess what I'm saying is you could buy into the same car and not have to have a loan. And if you have the car, if you own the car outright, you could take off potentially thousands of dollars off the car. And I'm going to tell you guys for sure, that is what I did. I sold my car for more than probably my guess is I sold it for $5,000 or $6,000 more than it should have been sold for. When the market corrects, my car was probably going to be only worth like $16,000 or $17,000, and I was able to sell it for over $22,000. That's actually only a couple $100 less than the original owner bought it brand new for. And I'm just going to take that money and reinvest it into the next ride. That money is going to end up buying my project car and going to scoop up another WRX or STI when we have that first stage of the correction. So if you want to take some money off the table, this isn't financial advice, but I would highly recommend evaluating your situation. If this is something you can do, I promise you in the long run, financially, you'll come out way over the top. And more often than not, you'll realize you'll have far more buying power. So if you've always wanted an STI and you have a WRX right now, this is probably going to be one of the best ways to make that jump. And now if you wait and your car's worth less, you just have less capital to make that jump. So especially if you're thinking about making that jump, you could get positive on the WRX, and then as the STI comes down, your delta there is absolutely massive. So if you save $5,000 on the WRX and you put $5,000 in your pocket and the STI becomes $5,000 less, it's almost like you got the STI for 10K lower than what it is now, if that makes any sense to you. So the waiting game is what's key here, but this is something that is coming soon. JPOW and those inflation rates are going to be something that does speed everything up as well. I mean, just today, as I'm filming this on a Friday, the market has been doing well all week, but it's starting to come back down and become more real as we get into the next inflation estimate. But this is something that is coming, and I know that some of you guys think that finances and the stock market don't really coincide with this car community, but I promise they do, and I hope that you at least heed some of what I'm saying, because this is how you're going to be super successful in your car journey of owning cars in this hobby of automotive sports. So yeah, quick video for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and new project car reveal coming soon, so stay tuned.